Just listening to Joel's speech reminds me of when I was at Boy Scouts. I can remember it was freshman year, I think I joined Boy Scouts, but freshman year was definitely interesting. I can remember like it was yesterday, sitting in the classroom, the windows were open, you could hear the birds chirping, you could smell the wood from a pencil being sharpened to a fine point, you could see chalk dust flying off the blackboard as the teacher spastically erased the board, and then it all stopped. Reality hit. She turned around and said, "Which one of you wants to give your next oral report?" Everybody looked down, looked busy. They won't pick me. Somebody got picked. Maybe you dodged a bullet this time. Maybe not. I don't know about you, but when I grew up, the way they thought of teaching you how to public speak is by having you just do it. Kind of like throwing you into a pool. If you drown, they pull you out, revive you, and throw you in the next day. That's not quite, you tend to wonder why we're afraid of public speaking. There you have it. Today, communication is different. We got my son a cell phone when he was 11, and after giving him a little speech about cell phones, he asked me, "So Dad, did you get a cell phone when you were 11? "No, son, I was 29 when I got my first cell phone." "Well, how come? Didn't Grandma trust you?" No, just, forget it. My cell phone had a bowling bag go with it with a battery that I had to carry around, so just forget it. But yeah, communication's different these days. Texting is the way to communicate. How many here text? Is everybody into texting? Good to see, because even my 81-year-old father-in-law texts.
Huh.
Not as quite as efficient as my son and daughter. So, texting, communication. Interesting thing about my son, he had a friend of his who was coming over to our beach house. And so it was a pretty simple plan. Family would drive him over at 11 o'clock. We would have lunch and then go out to the beach before the afternoon thunderstorms. 11:15, my son said, "Where is he? We gotta get going." So he sends him a text message. "Where are you?" So his friend texts back, "IDK." For those of you that don't know, that's "I don't know." His favorite phrase, too. So my son figures, "I'll help you out. What are you passing?" "Passing a Publix and a bridge." So my son says, "Well, you must be close, because we actually have a Publix and a bridge. It's only 5 minutes away." Good. 15 minutes go by. "Oh, you were close. Where are you?" "We're getting on the interstate." "What? How can you be getting on the interstate?" "Oh, well, the Publix and the bridge we passed, I came to find out, was the one by my house we pass every day." "You didn't know this?" So these kids need some coaching, okay? It's pretty obvious. Another time we needed to pick up one of my son's friends. Needed his address. So I said, "Son, can you get his address so we can pick him up?" "Sure." 15 minutes later, we're ready to leave. We still don't have the address. "Austin, do you have the address?" "No, he's not answering his text." "Okay, well, call him and you have his home phone number." "Call him? What do you mean?" No, that's wrong." "Austin, pick up the phone." "I'm not doing that. No, we'll just drive around and try to find his house and see if he's outside." These kids need a little bit of coaching, right? Texting is not the only way. Now, I myself am into leadership, and I was actually a den leader for 5 years. One of the interesting things for me, I had a friend of mine that we co-led the den, and he worked about a mile from here, so we would meet for lunch to plan the meetings. Invariably, every month, both of us would forget, one of us would call the other, "We got a meeting tonight, what are we gonna do?" So, "Well, let's do lunch today." "Okay." We'd scramble, get together for lunch, and plan this meeting, get stickers or CDs or something to keep these kids occupied. And we'd show up to the meeting, and the parents were like, "You guys are so organized. You're great, you must plan these things for weeks." Now that's a skill that comes with years of professional practice, but there is an easier way. A good coach. Now I found Toastmasters after looking long and hard for leadership classes and speech classes. We have to take 40 hours here every year, and I have never seen a leadership class or a speech class. And Toastmasters actually gives you the skills that you need. And I'm thinking to myself after a few meetings, I said, "This is awesome. I need to share this with my son." And the best part of it was, I come to find out that there's actually a youth leadership program. In the youth leadership program, we would have the children, 20 students, high school students, would get together, and they would run their own meetings, and I would coach them as the leader. They'd run the meetings. I would get up and speak a little bit about how maybe to create a speech, how to present a speech, good posture, how to avoid saying ah and things of that nature, using good body language. And this would give these kids a clue on how to lead a meeting based on the functionaries, based on the officer roles, and also on how to do a speech. Now, I think you can see that this is a program that would change their lives. It would have an amazing impact on them. We actually saw a 10-year-old at a conference get up, and he stood up in front of a group bigger than this and presented a speech about meat and how meat was processed. And he stood there, kind of had his hands in his pockets, but still worked the audience, leaned into it, vocal variety, 10 years old. And he is a graduate or a product of the youth leadership program. And it was amazing to see that. I said, that we need to bring into the community. So you can see what it would do for your boys and what it would do for their friends and people in the community. So the next time the teacher gets up and says, who wants to be next to give their oral presentation? Your boys can look up instead of down. Thank you.